the answers, no answers. I could find you, I could find
From the Sporting News Studios, this is Hot Corner with your host, Matt Latevsky.
I got all the answers, all the answers. I could find you, I could find all the answers. If you let me get it close and study you. I got all the answers, all the answers. I could find
Back for another big week. I'm just gonna say every week at the top it's a big week, no matter what.
They're all big.
They kind of are.
And they're all pretty much the same size.
They're all kind of the same size. Matt Latevsky here with fantasy baseball enthusiast DAZN and play. I'm just, you know what? I might call you fantasy baseball owner. I might drop.
I mean, you know I don't already like the titles you give me, and
Right.
now you're going to drop me down
to owner.
even more?
Here's the fantasy baseball owner. He's got a team. Eric
Cool.
Ferreira. So,
It kind of discredits you, too, by the way, that like the only person you can get to do a podcast just has a fantasy baseball team.
yeah, I know. Who else is going to do it around here?
I contend I'm the second most knowledgeable person in the Sport News office at fantasy baseball.
Easily.
Yeah.
You might be first.
Yeah, I mean, I beat you more than you beat me, so
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I didn't want to have to say it, but...
Well, I mean, you're probably first, so yeah, great. So I don't know who else up there would come down here to do this. No one else is wasting their time like we are going to talk about fantasy baseball. But it is a big week, and we are going to talk about some top waiver pickups. We got a few prospects, we got a few crap bags this week, our favorite. And we got some interesting guys we want to talk about. We're getting a stat. We're going to look at maybe some sell high hitters.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay.
And of course, weekend streaming.
Always, man.
We got a big weekend streaming week.
Like, I don't know if anyone out there is using our selections or not, but they've been good.
They've been really good, actually. We'll get into that
Better
later.
than my real pitching staff.
Yeah, well, it's always easier, right? When
Yep.
it doesn't really matter. And then, of course, we got closer talk. Get on that carousel, see how it goes. Start with the pickups. Like I said, prospect here, there, crap bags.
Well, it's funny. The first two guys on your list last week,
Teammates.
I think it was last week, that we were like, are any Blue Jays worth owning?
Right,
Besides
we said that.
Vlad.
Besides Vlad, offensive.
Right, and the first two guys on the waiver pickup list.
All of a sudden,
two
we got the
Jays.
Blue Jays coming on. So I believe is it Kevon?
I think it's Caven.
Caven?
I think it's
not
Caven.
Caven, is it?
I think it's Caven. It's not going to be Kevon.
I know. I thought I heard it pronounced weird, though.
I think it's Caven.
All right. the son of Craig Biggio.
Of course. Like, would you ever think that someone named, like, Caven Biggio, basically any C name and Biggio that played baseball was not the son of Craig Biggio?
It would be impossible.
I feel like we've been hearing about this kid for a long time, though.
I think
Like, kind of since Biggio was playing almost, I feel like this kid's name has been brought up.
But also because that Blue Jays, and they have Vlad Jr.
Yeah, their scouting department is like, that guy's dad played. Let me
He was really
grab that.
good, too. He's a Hall of Famer. I guess Bichette's not, but yeah, he was really good when he played there in Colorado. So yeah, it's like that's made it, I think, more of a thing for the Blue Jays and made us a little more in tune.
I think they're all just like buds. They're like, hey, all the other guys in the minor league, like they don't have a ton of money, but these guys are like, our dads played, so we got money, and like we're just like a crew.
I had my own private field.
Yeah.
Maybe. So anyway, he finally got the call up, second baseman. He's an interesting profile because he's a low average, high walk guy. But he's not just a power hitter. He has decent speed. I think he went like 26-20 last year.
26-20 last year.
At Double-A. Mm-hmm. Came up Triple-A. He was okay this year. He's hitting pretty well at Triple-A. Gets the call up. He's already got one dinger. You know, playing time, I'm assuming you call him up, you want to play him.
For sure.
So he should be playing pretty much every day. Is he worth it? He's a lefty. He's 24. So he's not, a spring chicken like Vlad, but pretty young still.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys, I feel like in the past when middle infield was a little weaker,
right.
You'd be so excited about it. You'd be like, oh, young middle infielder, maybe 2020 guy. Mm-hmm. I still like him.
Yeah.
So
going forward from here, probably more like 12-12.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And it's weird. Maybe I just have a decent middle infield and like I don't have room to grab him. But yeah, I think he's definitely a pickup. There's got to be some teams out there.
Deeper leagues, especially with an MI spot.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when there weren't a lot of good middle infielders, this would be huge.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is he's going to hurt. I think he's going to actively hurt your average. So there's a big negative drawback here. We already don't like the offense in general. So I don't know, runs, ribbies. It's pretty much just OBP, and even that'll probably be pretty.
But we like our power speed guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Power speed from second base.
Yeah.
He's batting. Where have they been batting him? He didn't play yesterday.
Right. I feel like I thought he hit cleanup one day.
I think he might have been maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's been moving around. I know that much.
He did 7th on Monday.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's sort of what it comes down to.
And they DH'd him.
Yeah, I saw that too. Well, they're still messing around with Sogard and the next guy on the list, Gurriel Jr. We're going to talk about how he fits in too. But, yeah, I mean, I like him. I just don't. I'm not that high on him this year. Obviously, keeper leagues, yeah, he's the kind of guy you want to have around. But it's definitely not a standard. I think it would have to be an OBP league for me. And
maybe even an MI league or
MI with an OBP.
Yeah.
Like we're getting narrower. But
I like him. I don't know. I feel like I like him. I just hard to play him over.
That's just
over other second base.
That's always the question. But, look, we were pretty lukewarm on Senzel, and he's been decent. So.
Yeah.
All right, go to his teammate, who had some sleeper buzz going into the year, really disappointed out of the gates, got sent down, now just got sent back up. That's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And I think homered in 3 straight games after getting called up. Been hitting the ball well, getting extra base hits. I think I'm looking at it now, he has a hit in every game since he's been called up. 3 homers, 3 doubles. So this is a classic sort of post-hype guy, and especially when you compare it with Biggio, you're going to be way more excited about Biggio than a guy you've already seen suck this year.
Right, but I mean, he did hit 11 homers in 65 games last year.
I mean, that's kind of what he does.
Which is good for a middle infielder, even though it looks like they've moved him to the outfield now, which I always think it's a good sign when a team wants to find a spot for you. Mm-hmm. So
again, a failing team.
Sure.
You have no reason not to play him.
It's a good sign that he's been hitting since his call-up. There's some pedigree there. His brother Yelich.
Well, obviously,
bit of a player.
Blue Jays.
It's funny. He's got more power. He's the middle infielder in the family, but he's got more power than the first baseman, which I think is interesting.
Well, and you know how I'm obsessed with the fact, why is he the junior, not the firstborn?
Right.
Something's weird.
But I looked it up once, right? And their names are actually pretty. I think. Lourdes' middle name has a Yuli name in it too. They're all
still weird to me. Yeah. But anyway, but another guy who. It's not really going to hit for average. He doesn't run at all. This is almost a pure power take.
Right.
For, second base, shortstop. Again, in the past, power from those positions, it just doesn't seem like it's that necessary right now.
I was just thinking, are there any, because I feel like we've talked about a fair amount of middle infielders the last couple of weeks, and every time we talk about them, I'm like, well, there's a lot of middle infielders. So we saw Correa got hurt today. Well, they didn't get hurt today, but got put on the DL today, 4 to 6. Are there any other big middle infielders that might be on your team that are out right now that you'd be
looking for?
I mean, Scooter's been out all season.
Right. Turner came back.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if you would be in a tough spot.
Yeah, maybe.
For a middle.
I feel like it would be if you had Correa. Yeah. But then I honestly might just want to have Aledmus Diaz.
Yeah.
He's pretty good, and you know he's on a good team, and he's going to be in a good spot. But so these guys they're mildly interesting. They might just be look ahead in weekly leagues or daily, and you play matchups, or you just play, hey, they're in a good park or something like that. You're going to want them against the Orioles, and they're playing them coming up.
Freaking Yankees, man, against the Orioles.
Twins, too, this year.
Well, Twins against everyone.
Well, that's true, but really against the Orioles. It was silly, the 6 games they played against them. But, all right, let's go to...
Speaking of the Orioles.
Yes. We have a lot of AL East guys. I noticed that when I was putting this together. But speaking of the Orioles...
If you were me, I would say that's lazy analysis, that you're only paying attention to your I only really watch the AL East.
Yeah, that's what you'd say, not me. If you just came in one day and it was all White Sox and Royals, you'd be like, what? Twins don't play in their division much, so that's more fun. All right. I mean, they will by the end of the year. They just haven't yet. All right. This is another guy. Basically, he's an all-power corner infield, third baseman, Renato Nunez. I liked him a lot in the preseason. I wrote him up as a big sleeper. I thought he was a big power guy. He started really slow. Then he's gotten really hot.
He's up to 13 dingers.
Yeah, last couple years, couple weeks, he's gotten really hot.
Big minor league home run numbers, too.
Yeah.
I know there's also been, just to think back to the last few weeks, there's been some guys that have hit homers in the majors since they've been called up, but you look at their minor league numbers, and you're like, I don't know, 12 homers in the minors?
Right.
This is a guy who's 20-plus homers in the minors.
32 in 2017 in AAA.
So you're in a great ballpark in Baltimore.
Yeah.
He's pretty much playing all the time, hitting cleanup every day.
No reason not to swing for the fences.
Not the worst lineup in front of him in Villar and Mancini.
It feels like they should be. I always feel like, especially when they're playing in Camden Yards, like I'm doing the pitcher rankings every day. I think, that's still not easy. But you look at the numbers and they suck. Like, they do suck, but yeah, I mean, they have some guys you can hit at least. And I mean,
Mancini, I'm pretty sure Mancini's leading the AL in extra base hits or something like that.
Mancini's having a good year. Villar's been up and down. I mean, you know that. He's like 300 OBP. Dwight Smith's been good. So you just think, okay, well, those four, that's good enough. Actually, Pedro Severino's been pretty good, too, for a catcher, but they're not a good
Hanser Alberto versus left-handed pitching. I think he's got the highest average versus lefties.
We love those guys. The old Raji Davis line we used to love. Lonnie Chisenhall, right? Not Chisenhall. Remember, wasn't the Indians? They had like four of those guys, those lefty killers, and we always.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have been Chisenhall. It was Rajai Davis for sure.
Davis,
and then they weren't all Indians.
Yeah.
It was actually Drury did go to the Indians, but he made his name mashing lefties for the Rays.
Yeah.
Not Drury.
His bones.
No, what was his name? Not Drury. Brandon. Who was the guy?
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking. Brandon Guyer.
Yeah, Brandon Guyer. Yeah.
So anyway,
you don't want to face the Indians when they're breaking out Rajai and Guyer.
So Nunez solid, but he's gonna have a bad average. He's not gonna run. It's just pretty much all homers. Is it worth it? I like the park. I actually think he's more worth it than those other guys, even though he's at third and they're middle. Or I should say at least Gurriel, since Biggio can run some. But, he's hot, though, right now, so especially at home. I like him at home and certainly against lefties. Stick in the AL East. My boy, preseason, Avisail Garcia. We're worried about playing time a little bit, but there's been injuries. Other things have happened. He's getting it now.
Now he's hitting inside the park homers.
That was, that stadium.
Really just showing off his speed. With the 6 steals, the inside the park homer.
That was just a pure lost in the roof. It bounced,
is that what happened?
Yeah. It bounced 30 feet behind Grichuk, who's just standing there looking up.
That stadium was dumb.
Yeah, it was a routine pop fly. But in the stat sheet, it's a home run. I think he's up to 10 now. Might not hit the 30 I predicted before the year, but he's coming along. But you mentioned the speed. He has 6 steals.
Right.
So he actually is, and he's hitting leadoff.
Sometimes.
In some games.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, he had 19 homers in 93 games.
I think he hits leadoff against lefties, and hits fourth against righties.
Yandy was hitting leadoff against lefties.
And then Meadows was hitting.
Yeah.
And then.
So he had 19 homers in 93 games last year. Yeah. He had 18 and 136 in 2017.
And then the numbers, the slash numbers, because he had an insane BABIP that year, but he hit like 330.
Yeah. Well, he was, when he was coming up, they talked about him when he was on the Tigers, talked about him being like a mini Miggy.
Right. And he's one of these classic guys. Every time I look at his page, it's like he's only 27 still. Yeah. Feels like he's been here forever.
I mean, good things are happening in Tampa.
They are, and I like it. I liked him before the year, so I'm biased, but I'm pushing in. And I don't know how many stolen bases he's going to wind up with.
Yeah, he's never really had a lot.
But it feels like it's a thing to some degree. Maybe he's just catching people by surprise. He's not going to be able to do it anymore. Why run?
I mean, that's Rays baseball, though.
Yeah, it is.
They started the opener thing. Mm-hmm. They have a different closer every night. They steal bases. They just do. They're like the American League's version of the old Cardinals. We used to say they do Cardinal things. Like someone would go, Jed Jerko would go to the Cardinals and hit 30 homers. Well, that's the Rays now.
Yeah, and the 30 homer thing. That's why I was like,
they do Rays. They do Rays things.
Which guy is it? This year?
Yandy's never hit more than 6 homers in the minors, and he's got 9 in 2 months.
And you got Brandon Lau. Apparently his name's pronounced Lau. Yeah. He's in there just hitting a homer. So I like Avisail. I think he's one of those it seems boring to have him, but he's just solid and he's on a good offense. So let's stick a little bit. Because we're going to split this one. We're going to group these two together. Okay. Because
one of them I'm completely not interested in.
I'm not interested in either, but anytime, this used to be my thing, anytime a guy with a little bit of power and good speed, I always think they can revive their careers.
Should change the scenery.
Especially when they're not that old.
Right.
Carlos Gómez.
Pass.
Back with the Mets.
Pass.
And Keon Broxton in the AL East with the Orioles.
I mean, he's interesting. You can't tell me you don't think he's a little interesting.
Here's the thing. He's terrible.
Yeah.
It's funny to me, but you're just disregarding Gómez, but you're like, ooh, Broxton.
Broxton can go.
He strikes out 40%
Broxton
of
can
the
go
time.
20-20 and be terrible. Carlos Gómez is like 50 years old.
He's not 50.
So when I was taking
Is he 50?
when I was doing my podcast prep,
33.
and I was going down the waiver pickups,
50.
and I saw Carlos Gómez.
Yeah.
For my notes on him, I just wrote no.
No, that's it.
No. I wrote some stuff on Broxton.
So Carlos Gómez?
Yeah, Carlos Gómez.
You like that?
No thanks.
All right.
But I
No
mean, Broxton,
mas.
I like, good park.
You all right?
Good park's really the whole AL East. I mean, Tampa, whatever. He's done 20-20 before
Right.
with striking out a million times. That's fine. You got the change of scenery. He's going to have the playing time, you would think.
Maybe.
You would think.
I don't know.
It's Baltimore.
But don't they have prospects they would rather
Do they?
play? I don't know. What happened to Cedric Mullins II?
I think he was terrible. I think he was worse than
He was
Keon
really
Broxton.
bad.
Yeah, he's batting like 083.
I know. It's funny. I picked the wrong. But how's Dwight Smith Jr. not on the Blue Jays? Or he was. And then they traded him, right? God, he is another one they did that with. I mean, granted, Dwight Smith wasn't as good as those other guys, but still. Anyway, because I remember going into the year, it was looking at their outfield and being like, okay, one of these guys.
Right.
And it was almost
Might be
flipping.
Broxton. There's still time for him to put up some numbers the rest of the year. If you don't need average,
Yeah.
get you some steals, get you some dingers. It's a great
I'm
park.
in agreement. Hard pass on Carlos Gómez.
Let's just clear
Bill-
his plate. Let's just clear Carlos Gómez's plate. He's done.
We're kicking him out of the restaurant. But yeah, so Broxton's 29. I guess he's a little older than I thought he was. But this year, 39 games with two teams, he's striking out 40% of the time. 40, and his walk rate's way down.
He's also not playing. Okay, let me play devil's advocate here real quick.
bad.
Let me just give you an excuse for him. Okay, take it with what you will.
I will.
So he's in New York, right?
Yeah.
Broxton. He's not playing every day.
Right.
So you're playing twice.
Because they had to get Carlos Gómez to.
But hear me
in
out.
for him.
Hear me out.
right.
So you're playing twice a week. Mm-hmm. You gonna go up there and take a walk, or are you gonna swing?
do what I need to do to help my team win.
Well, I'm gonna swing. All right, and then
because you're selfish.
and then
you're a selfish ball player.
and then
like
think-
Keon Broxton.
and then-
That's why you never made it.
and then think you're playing twice a week. You can't get in rhythm.
Right.
So you're swinging, you're trying to hit a 4-run. You're trying to hit a 5-run homer every time up.
So he's dumb, is what you're telling me.
But now he gets to play every day, relax. Coach says, "Listen, Keon, you're my guy.
You don't think he calls him Broxy?
We're gonna give you some time. We're gonna give you some time. We're gonna let you get comfortable. We'll see what happens." He's gonna bring that strikeout rate down, walk rate up a little
Go
bit.
down. Walk rate might go up, but he's gonna strike out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 2017, 20 homers, 21 steals, while striking out almost 38% of the time with the Brewers.
Yeah.
Hit 220.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I was all excited about him last year, and he sucked. But he still went 10-27 in 82 games at AAA.
That's what I'm saying. He finds a way to be good when he sucks.
Yeah, I'm out though.
Cool.
I don't buy it.
All right, you can have Carlos Gómez.
I don't want him either. I want him even less. But yeah, God, he sounds fast, and he is fast.
A couple other,
He should be a cornerback though.
or at least one other,
Why is he playing baseball?
at least one outfielder you haven't mentioned. I don't know if he's owned too high, but
Lay it on me.
Derek Fisher, since he's been up from
Yeah.
in Houston, he's been
Interesting.
hitting well,
offense.
popped a couple out. Was a former kind of
Yeah, he was
prospect.
well thought
He was
of.
a little prospecty.
Yep. All right, let's go to. I want to do one pitcher, and I don't even think I told you I was going to talk about this.
You didn't, because I have nothing on him.
You have nothing on him. I just put him in. He had a good start last night
he
in his
did.
debut. Lucas Sims
Thanks for
with the Reds.
Thanks for helping your partner out.
I was looking at.
I tell you every guy I add to the list. I just respect you like
Is that true?
Yeah. When I add someone to your document,
My doc.
I give you a heads up.
Okay. Well, I like to throw it. But this way we get a raw, unfiltered reaction.
Okay.
And that sometimes is what's most important.
Okay.
The gut.
Okay.
Let's be honest. We can talk about advanced stats all the live long day.
Right.
Gut feeling is what wins fantasy titles.
Okay.
Lucas Sims.
Okay. My gut feeling is he had a good game last night.
Great.
A little prospecty.
A little bit. He's
Got a little-
25.
He's got a little bit of stuff.
He's 25.
I like the offense behind him.
Sure.
He just gets-
You mean Derek Dietrich? The Derek Dietrich led.
Well, I don't like him,
Okay.
but they have a good offense behind
Right.
him. I just, that park continually scares me with all their pitchers.
I don't think he interests that part. But, so you look at him this year at AAA, made 9 starts. He was striking guys out. That sounded Canadian. That was a real Canadian out.
You're pretty close.
Yeah. 12.8 K per 9. But the rest of the numbers weren't great. 3.84 FIP, AAA. He's been in the majors. He's had 2 other stints with the Braves. It was okay, but not walks were always really high. The final numbers weren't good at all. Probably not rookie pitchers, because originally I wanted to talk about Corbin Martin. He had another bad start last night.
Yep.
So he had that great first start. Now kind of, I think, 3 straight.
These young pitchers.
Right.
Man.
So that was the overall point. Young pitchers.
They're so tough to trust.
I just don't think.
Young pitchers in bad parks is a bad combo.
Exactly. So a guy like Lucas Sims, obviously, you don't need to
maybe stream him on the road against bad teams.
Could be a weekend streamer though soon.
Sure could.
Which is what every young pitcher aspires to.
That's first step. First step, you become a weekend streamer.
That's like you've gotten the badge now.
Right.
Like, woo, I'm a weekend here. I was a weekend streamer.
Well, it's almost like, what I just thought of with the whole weekend thing, and we only do it on the weekends because of when we tape and all that.
Right.
But think about like DJs on radio stations.
Right.
Like first you get that like weekend gig.
That's right.
You don't get that Monday through Friday gig for a while. You got to put your time in on the weekends.
You're not doing drive time.
You got to do weekends and holidays.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Lucas can get some weekend streaming in.
When I was looking at the pitchers too, a couple guys I just wanted to throw out that I was surprised their ownership levels are still relatively low. We've talked about all these guys before, I think. Sonny Gray, which I really don't get at all why he's sub 50% owned. Griffin Canning, talked about him like 3-4 times. He let us down in weekend streaming, but has bounced back since. Yanni Chirinos, I think it's like, well, he doesn't start.
Yeah, well, how do you play? Because I was going to start him. I was going to start him 1 week where I thought he had a 2-start week, but like, how do you play that? Because it's even pitching the 2nd through 6th can be easier to get the win.
Right.
But it's like I feel like Tampa doesn't announce what they're going to do very early.
I think he's pretty much every 5th.
So if you're in a weekly league, I just feel like it's tough.
I don't know.
For
I
him.
feel like we know with him. They've been doing some other stuff. They ain't called back up Yarborough and stuff like that. Jalen Beeks, you never quite know how long he's going to stay in. But I feel like Chirinos, it's pretty regular, his schedule, and then he's basically going to pitch as long as he can once he gets in. So I still like him kind of under the radar. But those are some guys, they're just a little under-owned. Last guy we're going to talk about is old Harold Ramírez.
It's weird to see an H. Ramirez in Miami, isn't it? And like
tripped me out a little bit.
Does it make you feel like he's like better than he is?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just like comfortable seeing H. Ramirez.
H. Ramirez, Marlins?
Yeah.
Must be pretty good.
Yeah. Hanley got a kid up there already?
That's right. Yeah. Well, if he was, he'd be on the Blue Jays.
Hanley Ramírez Jr.?
Yeah. So Harold Ramirez with the Marlins, he was playing really well at AAA, 355, 408, 591. He really hadn't shown pop at all in his professional career until last year. He started showing some.
Better lighting.
And it's maybe
higher minors, better
carrying
lighting.
over to this year. I just think it's getting older, but sure, you go with your lighting theory.
I go with the lighting theory.
Always go with that. He's 24. You look at his profile, 5'10", 220. Okay, but not necessarily.
A little stocky.
A little bit.
5'10", 220.
But he runs, stole 16 bases last year in the minors. He's really not running this year, but he's a low strikeout guy, which you like, but not a high walk guy. 413 through his first 13 major league games, but
that's helped out by his
hammer
469 BAPIP.
So 469 before yesterday. After yesterday, it is an even 500.
Oh, nice, even better.
500 BAPIP.
Even better. I mean, he'll sustain that.
Seems unlikely. Maybe. He will not. So that average is going to come down. Now, he was a high BAPIP guy in the minors. So the fact that it's higher isn't that crazy, but obviously 500 is crazy. But he could be a 300 hitter,
He could be.
I doubt it. If I had to bet money, I'd say no. But he could be a pretty good average hitter with some pop, some speed. Obviously, on the Marlins, we don't like the park, we don't like the lineup, et cetera, et cetera. But he could be an interesting guy in deeper leagues. I think in deep leagues, if you're playing 5 outfielders, you got a couple util spots.
Deep leagues, anyone who's putting up any kind of stat for a hot minute is worth a look.
Right. But I like the fact he doesn't strike out much. I actually think that average, that's rare for a young player to come in to potentially be able to help an average. At this point in the year, how much can one guy do to help your average?
Still 4 months left.
Right. He can do some.
Yeah.
Now, will it be a rookie who plays for the Marlins? Probably not.
Named Harold? I don't know.
Named Harold, but maybe. But we talk about the high BAPIP, and that transitions us right into our our stat of the week.
We are pros, man.
Well,
lining that up to segue into.
I don't think pros talk about how they're pros. I think that's usually a sign.
We should probably let our fans.
Like John Wick doesn't kill a guy and go, man, I'm a pro at this killing.
I've never seen John Wick, so I don't know.
Wow, that's stupid.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, you should see it. You should probably leave right now and watch it. At least 1 and 2.
I'm busy.
Go to the theater, hit 3 up.
I have this super cool podcast I got to do.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to look at high BAPIPs, the old batting average.
That sounds like fun.
It is. It's great. So we're going to look at that. But this is a good way to target potential sell high guys.
Do you find you talk about BAPIPs a lot at like parties and in like social settings?
If I did.
Like, is that the douchiest thing to talk about? Like, if you were at a get together,
sure,
and
like with normal people,
right, with normal people, and Joe average baseball fan,
yeah,
Marlins fan, let's call it Joe Marlins fan. He's like, I like this Hanley Ramírez kid.
Yeah,
like, what do you think?
And then you just like,
actually, he has a 500 BAPIP, so he's been pretty lucky.
500 BAPIP. It's gonna.
Like, how lame is it to drop this on someone?
Never heard regression to the mean because Hanley Ramírez is about to get it.
Yeah,
about to feel it. God, you'd be an asshole.
So it's pretty much up there with like the lamest stuff you could say to an average baseball fan. But to us...
No, I'd still be pissed though, because I'd be like, dude, we're at a party. What are you doing?
I like Hanley Ramírez. I'm a Marlins fan, man. We don't have a lot of bright spots.
And also, I'd play the card where I was like, yeah, I know he has a high BAPIP.
Oh, you just drop that?
I still like him. Okay? Like, that's built into my analysis of the guy. Maybe not yours, but mine it is. So... It is a good way, though, to maybe see some guys and you're like, oh, he's overachieving, he's getting lucky. You know, I don't like throwing the word luck. There's a lot of people who are really cavalier with the word luck. And I'm like, maybe he's just hitting the ball hard.
Right.
And maybe this. And then, you're like, oh, but it's hard contact percentage, so it is luck. All right, whatever. What's interesting, too, I've been curious how shifts now are affecting BAPIPs just in the sense of,
you could have a really weak hit ball to a regular spot and it just goes through because the team decided to play you a certain way.
And that's when you start factoring in soft contact rate, things like that. But it is going to be, right? I mean, hitters are going to adjust. We do see some, like Matt Olson's been bunting against the shit.
Yeah, because he's smart.
I saw, who did it the other day? Was it Todd Frazier who did like a really hard push bunt?
They should.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it forever. If you're not that great of a hitter.
It was right through the hole at first and second where there was just no one. And he was
all of a sudden, like I love that. Like people want OBP, right?
Right.
Like if everyone in the lineup took a walk, you'd never make it out. You win every game, right? But when it comes to like taking a bunt single,
that's just there.
That's just like, no, you got to swing for the fence. But you're willing to take a walk. Why won't you just take? You're willing to take first base.
Right.
Take first base.
And this gets people moving. It gets motion. Exactly.
So frustrating.
So it is interesting how that's gonna, because eventually people adapt. But anyway. Right now, we're 2 months into the season, so we got a pretty good sample size here, or getting one. And these aren't all the highest BAPIPs, but they're, to me, the guys that are most interesting for this exercise. David Dahl, Rockies. When I looked this up, this was after Monday, 430. Very unsustainable. Now, it's not a shock someone like him playing Colorado especially would have a higher BAPIP.
Sure.
But now he's already disappointing this year in terms of power.
Right. But and that's the kind of thing I think you talk about when people are like, oh, he's getting lucky. Like, okay, so the BAPIP might go down a bit, but he might hit for more power the rest of the way. So I still think he's going to be a perfectly fine regular fantasy baseball player to play all the time. So
you're not worried, like, if you had David Dahl, you'd be like, okay, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
I'm disappointed he has 4 home runs.
Well, 3 worries.
Well, I'm not cool with David Dahl because I know he's gonna pull a spleen or something.
Right? Yes, he'll pull a spleen. The BAPIP is too high. It's coming down, and he'll hit for more power, but I don't know how much.
What if his BAPIP's 350?
I mean, that's reasonable. Yeah. But it's 430.
Yeah, so it'll come down a bit. It'll come down slow.
I don't know.
You won't even notice it.
I'm not a huge. But the thing is, I don't think he has much trade value, even with the high batting average playing in Colorado.
Yeah.
People are going to see, 5 homers?
I think 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Doesn't that piss you off for our home run team?
Yeah.
That
I never wanted him.
Yes, you did too.
I didn't want him.
Oh, that's not true.
That is 100%
This is
true.
revisionist history.
I 100.
You didn't want him
next
at
next
all?
year we should just
record.
We should get
a stenographer.
We should get Brad down here,
Yeah.
and we should just pick our home run pool teams on a podcast, so
Live?
it's completely recorded.
No.
We never know what to do in the
Or
preseason.
get the stenographer to.
We never know what to do for a preseason, so that'll be a podcast.
All the way out on Dahl.
I wasn't all the way out. I didn't love him. I didn't love him.
All right.
He cost 16, which I mean, these
that
people
bad.
don't know what these numbers
No,
are.
now we're just having
He cost
a
16.
private
I thought it was a little high for
Okay.
that. I thought he might hit 18 to 20 homers this
Well,
year.
but, I mean, because we were worried about injuries, but we didn't think if he was mostly
He's a doubles guy.
healthy.
He's a gap hitter.
Doubles turn into homers, though, bro. All right,
He's a gap hitter.
Javi Báez.
Yeah.
413.
Not worried about him either.
Not one bit.
No. He's going through a phase right
Not
now.
really running.
No, he's not. And right now he's
That's a
striking
worry.
out at an alarm. He went 0 for 5 the other day
he's been
with
hurt,
5 Ks.
right? He's been a little hurt.
So, but this is what he does. This is what he
Okay.
does, and he'll hit again. And he's always going to have. I feel like he's always going to have a high BABIP
So
anyway.
yes, that's partly true. So I wouldn't, if I had Javi Báez, I would not be looking to trade him. I will say that. But I am a little worried. Combo high BABIP not running.
Yeah, it's annoying that he's not running.
Right.
I think he
That's big.
thinks he's a cleanup hitter now, and cleanup hitters don't run in his mind.
franchise. So, but also because he can play all the positions. Like, he's so valuable
Right.
for that. But a little worried. All right, Austin Meadows, breakout guy this year. He's been awesome. 398 BABIP. That's probably going to come down. I'm not really worried about him, though, because he's always had a high BABIP, and he does other things.
I'm not really worried about him.
Right.
I could see definitely some regression because he's been so
Yeah.
good this year, and it's not like he's
Right, he should regress.
some amazing major leaguer that's been around forever. I think he's good.
I mean, top prospect pedigree, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's go to one of his teammates, the aforementioned Brandon Lau, 389. That would worry me, but I feel like he's kind of a power guy anyway. He's a surprise. You got him for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he strikes out a fair amount, so
Right.
it kind of is what he is. It's probably high, but he's still going to give you what you wanted, which
Right.
was dingers.
Yeah. But if if you're on the other side of it and you're like, hey, I need averages, because I think he still has a high batting average, you can't look at him as a guy who's going to help your batting average going forward.
I don't think so, no.
And that's always important. Tim Anderson, 388. We talked about this several weeks ago, how his BABIPs are just all over the map in the majors.
Right.
So him having a high one, to me, isn't crazy. Now, 388's a little high.
Well, and he can run. He's got
Right.
the speed,
So he's a guy, he's shortstop. He's going to go 20-20. By the way, we got 10-10 guy.
We got it.
We got it. Christian Yelich. He's 20-10, actually, which is pretty damn impressive. I think Story's one steal away.
Yeah, there's some guys getting closer.
A couple other
but-
guys. Ever since we talked about him, though, a couple of those guys didn't move.
Yeah, we shut down the base the base running
'Cause
game.
we thought Anderson would be there by now, and who else was it? There's another guy.
Well,
Victor Robles.
Yeah,
Kinda stopped
he's.
doing
I think
both.
is he 9'9" or 8'9"?
I think he's 9'8".
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
387 BABIP. This is just the fact. Like, you were already counting on him hitting 205.
Right.
So anything you get is gravy. So awesome. If anything, maybe you say, hey, he's going to have a high BABIP year.
Right.
Great. David Peralta, 385, kind of a weird one. He's been really solid this year. He's hurt now. Not quite as much power as normal, but then this higher BABIP. He's a guy, again, I put in that same, I'm cool with David Peralta, but average probably coming down. So if you're looking to trade for batting average help, I don't think he's the guy, but he does other things.
Yeah. He's whatever.
I like him.
I mean, he's all right. I don't know if he'll ever have what do you have? 31 homers last year. If he'll ever do that again, but
I feel like he's just a good, like, he's hitting lefties well
he's a
this year.
professional hitter.
He is a
Professional
pretty
hitter.
good player. I always love taking him in DFS against a lefty because
No one else to take him.
right because his price was still pretty high, but his ownership was depressed, and especially when they're at home. All right, Cody Bellinger.
This one makes me laugh. That, that
376.
he's got a 376 BABIP, but his average is
his
high.
average is even higher.
Yeah.
So he won't even.
He's good. If you can get Bellinger, get him.
Yeah, we won't waste time talking about him. Try to appeal to the person with Bellinger, be like, "We've got a high BABIP though."
Yeah.
Alberto Mondesi, 373. He seems like the kind of guy who should have a high BABIP.
Yep.
Don't really, whatever. Here's a weird one.
The most nondescript player in baseball
Jeff
coming
McNeil.
up. Jeff McNeil.
371 BABIP. Like, what's his batting average? It's like 330, isn't it?
He's a good hitter.
But is he? Or is he just getting
No,
lucky?
he was a good hitter last year.
So, yeah, so old Jeff McNeely, lefty, 27. doesn't strike out, doesn't walk a ton, but a little bit. He's hitting 333 this year, 329 last year. 359 BABIP last year in 63 games, 371 this. I think it's just what he does.
It's what he does.
Just what he does. Sold McNeil, but he doesn't do much else.
No.
I feel like that's sort of disappeared, the all average guy.
Right. Well, if your name's Jeff McNeil, how much are you going to do?
I honestly think you should be playing hockey if your name's Jeff McNeil, but that's just me. All right, Josh Bell.
Jeff McNeil needs to be in some sort of like high school movie as like the cool bully type.
Blonde hair.
Yeah, with some sort of nickname.
Yeah.
You know?
McNeely.
Yeah, McNeely.
He's McNeely. All right, Josh Bell, 368.
This guy, man. Oh,
This guy.
You mean MVP, Josh Bell?
Josh Bell. Him and Eddie Rosario. Do you realize Eddie Rosario and Josh Bell are in the... I mean, obviously Bellinger and Yelich are 1-2 in the NL, but in the conversation
Sure, why not?
is Josh Bell.
Why not?
And Eddie Rosario.
Guy hits a home run every night.
Is Eddie Rosario leading?
In the AL? Maybe.
Who else?
I don't know,
Springer?
Bregman?
Springer.
Springer could be in the mix.
Is that... I mean, who's the Yankee that's the guy?
No one really.
Sanchez?
Nah. Glaber?
Dude,
Yeah.
I think Eddie Rosario's AL MVP.
It'll end up being a Houston guy.
Nah, they're going to cancel each other out.
No, we'll have Correa and Springer hurt for any, you know.
Yeah, but then Springer's out, so now it's got to be Brave. Dude, Eddie Rosario, AL MVP. Did you ever think he'd live
Everything's
in that world?
turning up Twins, man.
Really is. So anyway, Josh Bell, whatever. 368. He's hitting 50-foot bombs. I really don't. I don't give a shit. Rafael Devers.
You want to talk about a guy who hits the ball hard.
Professional hitter.
And when you watch him right now, he's so locked in that he's, I don't know if I would call them like softball swings, but I mean, he is trying to rip every pitch, and he's like not, and he's on them.
Doesn't hit a ton of homers. He's hit more lately.
He's hit them now.
What's he up to now? Like 8, 7?
7 or 8, yeah.
But he runs a little bit. So that's
it
why
typically does. I don't think that sticks, but.
he did in the minors. I think he can get you 15 steals.
I mean, if he played in a small ballpark like Yankee Stadium, he'd probably already have 15 homers.
Well, yeah, because he's a lefty, right? Yeah. Why doesn't he just hook it around this guy? I still don't get
It's
that.
hard. He's just still young. He hasn't learned that yet.
He hasn't learned that. Just go Oppo then if you're such a good hitter. But so you're not worried at him. Like, you see, he's an interesting guy because I could look at him and say, he doesn't hit for a ton of power. He's had a hot streak and his BABIP's high. Maybe this is the optimal sell high time.
I mean, you could try and sell him high. I mean, he was a top prospect. I think he's coming into his own.
You know?
And I don't think the home run, like I think, if he hits between 20 and 25, yeah, okay, he's not a 35 homer guy, but I think he gets
Next year he will be when he's on our home run team.
I think he gets to 20 to 25.
Yeah, he probably does. But what I would do, because every league has one douchebag Red Sox fan.
Whoa.
So I would try to find that guy. Now, granted, that guy probably already took Devers 4 rounds too high.
Right.
But if he didn't,
I try to get him at the beginning of April when he wasn't hitting at all.
Well, but I would try to trade him to that guy. He'd be like, how would you say Devers?
Devers.
And then the last one, we'll go with the guy who could split the vote with Eddie Rosario for AL MVP, Jorge Polanco. This guy, so obviously I watch a lot of Twins games. He hits the ball pretty hard. Switch hitter, seems like a good hitter. But I could see him crashing.
Or getting that PED suspension.
Or that.
I still can't believe this guy is top 5 in slugging.
We talked about that last week. Double jeopardy. He's fine. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. He doesn't run.
He doesn't need to. He's always on second. He's top 5 in the AL in slugging.
But when he does get a single, he does it. The Twins don't run except for Byron Buxton. So I could see him being a prime sell high guy. I'm kind of, as much as I want to believe he's going to keep leading the AL in hitting. I think you can try and sell high,
but I think that he doesn't have enough name value for people to really go all in on Jorge. Like Devers,
Right.
Someone out there wants him.
Right. Find the douchebag Twins fan in your league.
Right. Well, he's going to want someone else. He's going to want friggin' Max Kepler. Kepler.
Dude, you talk about a guy hitting the ball hard. Max Kepler is hitting the ball.
The German.
The German. He should be on Boston though. But that'd be a fun name for you guys to say.
Kepler.
Right? And Max, that's a good name. But he hits the ball hard too. All right.
Do they call him Mad Max?
I mean, I'm sure someone does.
Or Keps. What's his nickname?
Kepi? I don't know.
Kepi. You don't hit the ball that hard and they call you Kepi.
You gotta have a German nickname, right? Der Kommissar? I don't know. All right, let's get to weekend streaming, our favorite part. We're running a little long.
How about a little?
But I don't want to go slow through weekends.
Well, how about our little rundown on last week, real quick?
We will do that for sure. So last week we only gave out 3 guys because we don't force it.
Right. Although this week, fast forward to this week where we are forcing it.
Yeah, we're forcing it this week. But so
We started reading our press clippings.
yeah, no wins, which is disappointing last week.
It was 0 for 3.
Right, but 3. I think I gave us all. So I did what you suggested,
Right.
the good, bad push.
Yep.
I gave us all 3 goods.
Okay.
Now the most questionable one was Thornton.
Okay.
6 innings, 3 runs, 7 walks and hits, 10 Ks.
I like
I
that
think
10
that's
Ks.
good.
I like that 10 Ks.
I mean, a win, it's not a question.
Right. No, I like the 10
But
Ks.
good whip, good Ks. Okay, a 4.5 ERA, 1
Yeah.
start. Psh,
I give that a win. And
live with that.
you grab double-digit Ks from a streamer.
right. Lucchesi was great, and Skaggs was great.
Oh, the 2 I picked were great, and yours was.
I picked Lucchesi too.
Okay. All right. We shared that one.
But anyway, and I picked Skaggs. I think we all picked.
No, I picked Skaggs.
Well, yeah. but I
Skaggsy?
think- Didn't I?
I picked Skaggsy.
T Skaggs? All right. So anyway, for the season, we are 10 wins with an asterisk. We might have 11.
Okay.
Depending
Mike
on when
Fires.
Mike Fires finishes.
Check
that
back in
suspended
September.
game. Yes. 3.35 ERA, 1.06 whip. We have a 9.2 K per 9
I like it.
in 142 and a third innings.
It's a lot of streaming innings to have that good of a whip.
Yes, and I mean, and the ERA, and imagine if we took out that Pablo Lopez start.
Imagine.
Where he gave up 10 earned.
Right.
Like really, except for that start, they've all been, you can live with them.
Oh,
There's been
sure.
a couple where you've been like, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so I did the good, bad push.
Yeah.
17, 5, and 2 is what I come up with. And that's me being,
Stream on, brother.
that's me
Stream
being
on.
negative. Sonny Gray start, 5 innings, 3 earned, 7 walks and hits, 2 Ks, not a win. I gave that a bad.
Yeah, that's a bad.
That's kind of,
I don't like that
but
5.
even that's not great.
5
All
innings
right.
rounds, yeah.
So this week we got a bunch. Friday we kick it off. We got 3 guys.
Yep.
A classic, a weekend streamer classic.
Yeah.
Tyler Mahle.
Yep. This is your guy.
Versus Nationals. Nationals 25th and weighted runs created against righties. He's only had 2 home starts this year, which seems really low. 11 innings. He only gave up 1 run, but I don't know, throw that sample out. It's so small. I wish it wasn't at home, obviously.
Yep.
But Nats don't hit righties. They kill lefties, don't hit righties. Danny Duffy, he's been here before.
He's been here before.
Friday, Royals at Rangers. Wish it was in Kansas City, but okay. We've talked about this plenty of
I
times.
wouldn't worry about it. The Rangers can't hit lefties.
24th against lefties. Duffy's given up way fewer homers this year. And then a guy we just had last week, still under-owned. 56 in Yahoo, 49 in ESPN, Joey Lucchesi. At home against the Marlins. Look, spoiler alert, all 3 Padres starts against the Marlins are out
It's
there.
funny, like I feel like we're doing a lot of the same guys, but it's
Yeah.
because it takes a little while
Yep.
to like get that rotation turned over to where you're not in like
Yeah.
a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's kind of like exciting to be like, oh, I wonder who's starting to rotate into the weekends. Get some new blood.
That's right. So, any beef with any of those?
No,
3?
no, I had Lucchesi on mine. I got the Marlins 30th versus lefties in OPS.
I think they're 30 against righties too.
Cool.
I think they
Marlins,
are, so.
solid.
Or they might have been tied 29th against righties.
He went 6 2/3 with 11 Ks last week
right.
at Toronto. And then one of my favorite things to do, because I like looking at the game log, 4 starts this year.
Mm-hmm.
4 starts this year with 3 earned runs or less. 4, I believe, like 9 starts.
Right.
And it's interesting. One of those, and that includes at Colorado and versus the Dodgers.
Right.
So he's done it against some good teams in some bad places.
Yeah.
So definitely like
solid.
Lucchesi, which means he'll probably get blown up by
Well,
the Marlins.
I was going to say, not all 3 of these Padres are going to be good. Like, it's just.
No,
law of
Marlins scored like
averages.
11 last night too.
Right. So.
And I'm scared because I'm actually streaming Pablo Lopez tonight.
Yeah,
And like they
I
just
got
burned
him in DFS.
They just burned 11 of their runs last
So
night, and he's going against Bumgarner tonight.
Yes, I am. That dude is like, I can't quit that guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting good Pablo Lopez starts. I know they're in him. And he burned me on Last Friday. He sucked. But I'm going back to him, and he's so cheap on draft.
This is my first time,
So
and if we're
damn
both in
cheap.
on him tonight,
Oh, it's not going to end well. All right. Saturday, Padres, Matt Strom, 56 on Yahoo, might not be available there, but only 31% ownership on ESPN.
we don't know
get
what's
it.
going on over there.
Don't get it. But yeah, Marlins again against the lefty. Got to play him. All right, here's where we get.
This is me reaching.
Here's Boner Patrol.
This is me reaching.
All right, I don't like this one. but
I don't
go
like
ahead.
it that much either, but for
Go
some
ahead.
reason I'm feeling it.
Go ahead.
I'm going Lance Lynn versus Kansas City. Kansas City's actually not terrible
No,
against
they're like
righties.
12th.
Yeah, they're middle of the road to top third of the league.
It's in a bad park.
Not in a great park. It's
Lance Lynn.
It's Lance Lynn. But back-to-back, he's had 10 Ks and 11 Ks his last two starts. And, looking at his FIP, I mean, he's actually got a 4.66 ERA because he's been blown up a few times, but his FIP's 3.31.
No, he's pitching well.
Which suggests he's maybe been a little unlucky.
He has been.
He's got 346 BABIP against, which is a little high.
He's facing that Royal speedster slap and get off base.
Yeah, I mean, the Royals can definitely be annoying. We've talked about that before. The top of their lineup can get you. He's had 3 bad starts basically, but he's had four starts with 3 earned runs or less out of 9 or 10. So scared. This qualifies. This is an eyes wide shut start.
It's an eyes wide shut start, but this is one of the, normally weekend streaming we focus on matchup.
Right.
This is the one where we're focusing, saying, hey, we think this pitcher's better.
I've also felt a little bad. I feel like we've been taking a little bit of low-hanging fruit with guys owned around 50%. So I wanted to really test myself here.
All right.
He's owned in 9% of leagues, and for good reason.
Look, I'm going even crap bag here.
Okay.
Touchdown Tommy Milone.
Okay.
Mariners versus Angels. Angels are quietly like the Rangers in that they can't hit lefties, hit well against righties, can't hit lefties, 22nd against lefties. Malone's made 2 starts this year. They've both been good. He's had a lot of strikeouts, which seems very un-Tommy Milone-like. I'm not, look, he's due to get hit here, but I just like the matchup. I like the park. Maybe he's still got some sneaky crap that he did something. It's like Martin Perez. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, he's throwing this pitch more.
It's sneaky crap.
It's the sneaky crap, and he can get through about a month of pretty good starts before teams go, oh, he's just throwing more curveballs.
Oh, that's right. He's Tommy Milone.
And he sucks.
We can hit him.
Just sit on the curveball and you'll be fine. Whatever he's doing. So, that's that one. So we're eyes wide shutting it on Saturday.
Yeah.
But now it's Sunday. You're normally in the car.
Yep.
You're coming back.
Yep, not interested.
You're nursing your spike ball wounds.
Yes, I got multiple spike ball wounds from last week on the
But
beach.
I think you're okay with these guys. At least 2 of them.
Yes.
Gio Gonzalez, Brewers at Pirates. So Gio, real hot start. Started to come back to earth a little bit. Twins got to him, but Twins hit everyone.
Twins got to they're like 27 Yankees.
They're on pace to shatter the single season home run record, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will, but currently on pace. Pirates 26 against lefties. We like the park. You get him out of Miller Park. I always like that. And he's still pitching fairly well, even though the last couple haven't been as good. That's a good one. Obviously, we're taking Padres against the Marlins. We got Eric Lauer, another lefty. Like I said, one of those 3 isn't going to go well. If I had to bet, it's probably the Friday Lucchesi start, just because he's the best.
Yeah, he's the clearest one.
You know where Matt Strom's from, by the way? Hometown? West Fargo, North Dakota.
I was going to say North Dakota.
West Fargo, man. You don't hear that every day. And then,
just at work here.
Just to show we are equal opportunity with the Marlins, we got their starter.
We're going to throw them right back at the Padres.
Trevor Richards at the Padres, San Diego, 21st. Against righties, 26th at home.
It's the second week in a row we're doing pitcher versus pitcher.
We did it last week, and with the Padres too last week. Richards has really been up and down. It's funny, a lot of people kind of liked him coming into the year, and it was Caleb Smith who's been the breakout. So he's been up and down. He's actually very similar to Trent Thornton, who we had last week. That gave us an ass start, but had a ton of Ks. That's kind of how I view him. Again,
do you get him confused at all with Trevor Williams?
Yep, absolutely. They're different types of pitchers, but yeah.
But they're like the same dude.
Yep. And then I'll throw Trent Thornton in there because we got Tees.
I'm just saying, Marlins, Pirates, both bad offenses, bad parks, guys named Trevor pitching. Yeah. I definitely always get these guys confused.
Got to in the Trevs. So anyway, but you got beef with those guys?
Not really, just beef with the overall philosophy of streaming on a Sunday.
Sometimes you have to stream on a Sunday.
Yeah, I guess you do.
You have no choice.
I get in the car.
All right.
I was home by 1 on Sunday. That's how fast I got in the car.
Nap too?
Monday, Memorial Day Monday.
Nap in?
I try a little bit. It's home by 1, unpack the car.
Right.
Watch some baseball, fall asleep.
Nursing those.
Nurse my wounds.
Spike ball.
So if you haven't checked out Spike Ball, though, go on YouTube and watch some Spike Ball videos because it's coming on. They're on TV now. They had the College Spike Ball Championships on ESPN a couple weeks ago. Just so you know. Though I don't know how those guys play on the basketball court. We play in the sand.
Yeah. Great. All right, so let's get into some closer talk. Hop on the carousel. You know, last week, you like that? Last week, we were all, Brandon Workman is the new Ryan Brazier.
Well,
Marcus Walden is the new Brandon Workman.
Right.
Who is the new Ryan Brazier.
right. Who pitched last night and was not good.
Yeah, so wait, who pitched last night?
Walden and Brazier, they were both bad.
Were they? Yeah.
They brought in
Walden has been lights out this year.
He has been. He's actually got
Even better than Workman.
6 wins in middle relief. And they've been talking about wanting to move him toward the back end of the bullpen, and they tried that last night. They brought Barnes in the 8th in a dicey situation.
Barnes is the 8th inning man.
Right, and then I think he only needed to get one. I don't know if he needed to get 1 out or 2 outs.
Right.
But they didn't go back to him in the 9th. They were giving Walden a shot, and sure enough, gave up 2 runs. Brazier came in, gave up another 2 or 3, and they lost the game to the pathetic Cleveland Indians. And Greg Allen hit a dinger, which
Speedster, right?
doesn't happen very often.
So Walden, though, on
their bullpen's a mess.
Sunday, they went Workman, Barnes, Walden. Walden got the save. Obviously, you said what they did last night. I mean, we just say it every week. Barnes is their best pitcher. They just put him in the high leverage spot. It seems to always be the 8th. I think they like matching him up against lefties more since they don't have a damn lefty. And that's just kind of where we're at. So is Marcus Walden worth picking up?
I honestly don't even know.
I think so.
I don't know. He's pretty good, but again, he was like
he had a bad outing.
He's a career minor leaguer. I believe he came up, I think they said it last night. He started the minor leagues in 2007 and didn't get to the majors until 2 years ago, I think. So 10 years in the minors.
Perseverance. Stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah, and with a reliever, these things happen.
Yeah.
But
gotta believe.
I don't know. If you're looking for saves from the Red Sox, though, I don't know. They're mixing and matching big time.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was your
You made fun of me.
your shining moment. No, well, I made fun of the joke. Your bad pun.
Old strong arm?
Old strong arm. Sean Armstrong for the Orioles. Givens has just been imploded. I think as soon as I finally said, you know what, maybe I was wrong about the Orioles and Michael Givens, he's imploded. He's out. They announced.
Right, they announced low leverage. Yep. Which in Baltimore really can be whenever.
Low leverage.
Every game is low leverage for them.
A starter. The starter's low leverage.
What situation are the Orioles not in a low leverage situation?
High leverage Orioles game. So on Saturday, they had the old 3-inning save from Josh Lucas.
Yep.
And then old strong arm got to save Monday, like a legitimate one.
Right.
So I guess they're gonna try him out for a while.
Yes. I said last week, but I'll update the numbers. 3 earned runs since he's been with Baltimore. 2 of those were at Coors Field. So he's been pitching well. The problem I see is he's got 9 walks in 14 innings.
That's a big problem.
And as a closer, that's not good, but I think he's their closer right now.
Probably.
I don't know how many saves you're going to get out of him.
It is a classic, like, pick him up. I mean, he's an eyes wide shut appearance every time he comes in. I guess the bigger question is, do you need to, if you had Michael Givens, is he worth holding on to?
No. How many games is Baltimore going to win this year?
Right.
There's one thing when you're like a 70-win bad team, and there's another thing when you're like a 50-win bad team. And that's what the Marlins, the Orioles, and I think was there another, and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Those 3 teams, they're really bad. They got bad bullpens, and they're not going to win.
Giants, they're pretty bad too, but yeah. So I don't know. Pick him up if you want. Drop Givens if you want. Ultimately,
just give me credit for naming Strongman.
Absolutely.
A week early.
Absolutely, I do give you credit for that. All right, we got some Cubs where Pedro Strop is throwing now.
Yep.
I believe pitching in game. So they like to think he'll be back soon. So they had who got a save the other day for them? Like Tyler Chatwood.
Yeah, I think it was a 3-inning variety.
Yeah, so
or it was extra innings.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So yeah, they're just.
It's pretty much Cishek.
It's Cishek till Strop comes back. I would assume he just gets it right away again.
Yeah, Joe Madden, you never know. But
I don't even know if they. I mean, Morrow's just out, right?
I think he's out for a while. I mean, the other guy pitches late for that, Brad Brock.
Right. Nah, he ain't a closer.
Little Carl Edwards Jr.
Yeah, he ain't a closer. All right, Rockies had a Wade Davis injury. He's out skis, oblique.
Played catch 3 days in a row, though.
Yeah. He's coming back.
Found a buddy.
We don't know if it was with his kid or...
Nope, found a buddy, played catch 3 days in a row.
we don't know. But long toss? How far were they apart?
Don't know, just know that he played catch.
But they...
It could have been with his dog.
Yeah, and they just throwing a tennis ball into the ocean.
What if one of the things was like, he played fetch?
Right, played fetch.
He played fetch with his dog.
With his dog. Man's best friend. So they flat out, I liked it. They just were like, hey, Scott Oberg's interim closer.
Right.
Didn't even mess around,
Right.
didn't do...
Until last night when Bettis, not Bettis, why do I get him confused all the time? Yeah, Bettis.
Yeah.
Came in the 8th, then they put 2 more runs up on the board and they just let him pitch the 9th.
Right.
So Oberg's the closer, but Bettis got the save.
Ain't that much of a closer.
Yeah.
No, but so pick him up, play him. He's been pitching okay this year, not great. I think he's one of those guys whose FIP's way worse than his ERA, if I recall correctly. But it sounds like Davis will be back pretty soon.
Yeah, he's playing catch.
Yeah, playing catch. So they got that going for him. A few here just kind of to clean up. We talk about a lot of these teams every week, but the Angels had a Robles blown save, then a Justin Anderson save when I assume Robles just wasn't available. But then Robles comes back on Tuesday night, gets a save. So I don't think anything's changed there.
Nope, he walked a guy, but otherwise, easy inning.
Right, so he should be fine. The Rays, we had another Alvarado save on Sunday.
Castillo got last night's, gave up a run.
Right.
But he hadn't pitched in 4 or 5 days. I could see that. I was like, oh, it's Castillo night. Hasn't pitched in 4 or 5 days.
Because they had Alvarado too, I think, over Saturday, Friday, one of those days, he in a 4-run game, which is a lot of times we see the closer in that, he finished out. So he's definitely more back in the mix than he was for a few weeks there.
You gonna raise your percentage on him?
I'm raising the percentage a little bit.
I'm still at 60-30-10.
All right, I'm still at what would I be at? Castillo.
You still like Castillo the most.
I do. Like 50-30-20, and then figure out some random guy we don't even know exists yet who's gonna come in September and rip off 5 saves. All right, the Twins are getting a little more unpredictable.
No, I disagree.
A little.
Parker hasn't pitched.
Right.
I believe Parker, because I had him on my bench last week, I believe he only pitched 1 inning last week, Sunday to Saturday. So I think last night they had a lead.
Right.
And I think they were getting him a 2-inning save if he could be clean.
Okay.
And then he got hit in the 8th. So then they just pulled him.
But I guess the main thing, what I was referring to, wasn't so much Parker not getting saves. It was more Rogers has been a little shaky lately.
He has been.
And came in the 9th. He got the first 2 outs, and then they were like, "Hey, beat it. We want to bring in old Ryan, old curveball throwing Ryan Harper to finish off the last batter." So yeah, I mean Parker's definitely still the guy.
Yep.
But Rogers is if anything, it's probably good for Parker.
Yeah, I think if I'm them, or I don't try another 2-inning save with Parker.
Yeah.
I keep Rogers in the 8th, and I try and use Parker a little more often.
Yeah.
I don't think you want a closer pitching once in a 1 inning a week.
I mean, when you score 8 runs a game.
Yeah, I think you got to find spots to get him in.
No,
I hate non-saves, but I think you got to pitch your closer a little more regularly than that.
But Harper's been awesome this year. And I think they're a little more because I think for a while there with Trevor May really struggling.
Top 10 closer, Trevor May?
I don't think he's going to get there.
I don't think he is either.
I don't think he's going to get there. And I think they were kind of like, we got 2 guys we can trust in this bullpen. That's it. And they were really kind of overworking Rogers especially. But now that Harper's been great and he's kind of taken that role, I think they're a lot more confident in the bullpen. They're a team too. I feel I would be surprised if they didn't trade for a guy at some point too. Not necessarily a closer, obviously, but just one more good middle relief arm. And
how about Craig Kimbrel next week?
I mean, why mess with that? Why wouldn't he just go to the Braves? It's just the perfect fit for everyone.
He probably will.
Yeah. All right. Marlins. Sergio Romo was struggling, but 3 straight saves, perfect appearances.
It's
no less.
Sergio Romo.
So that's classic Romo. And the Braves. Talked about Luke Jackson struggling a bit. Sean Newcomb getting a save there, but he's had 2 straight scoreless appearances and looks to be stabilizing that situation for now. It'll be interesting to see.
I thought maybe Newcomb had a chance, but it looks like they're
He'll be
confident.
around.
Looks like they're confident in Jackson.
He'll be around. So anyway, that's the closer carousel, right?
Always
Did you
fun.
miss any?
I don't think so. That was my list.
Something will happen tonight. It always does.
Sure, or this afternoon.
Hector Neris has ripped off a bunch of saves straight. So
something will happen this afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened to Robertson? I thought he was playing fetch there with his dog for a while.
Oh, what the heck? Hold up. Sorry, we had a live game update here.
Oh, jeez.
Jimmy Paxton.
James.
Okay.
Good game, James.
He's back from his rehab.
Yeah.
Throws 4 no-hit innings with a 3-0 lead, and they pull him after 66 pitches. So he can't pitch the 5th and get a win. Come on, man.
That's bull crap.
It is. This is why I'm last in the league in wins. Crap like that.
You should just do our streams, man.
Anyway.
We can stream.
I feel like we can't do the podcast without some sort of live game update that the listeners will hear about tomorrow on Thursday.
Extremely dated.
Yes.
Reference. Yeah.
Also, the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game is in a delay, so stick with us for updates on that.
Hey, has any lineups come out for the games? The night games yet? But yeah, so all right.
You want to do Wednesday night lineup talk?
Wednesday night
for a
lineup talk?
podcast that comes out on Thursdays usually.
Obviously, I was hitting 5th tonight.
Pick them up.
G-Man Choi hitting 3rd. Austin Riley. Yeah. So all right, we covered it all. I don't think anything.
We always do.
I don't think anything else anyone could care about.
No, we talk about all the relevant stuff.
All relevant stuff. Now, you're going to be gone next week, right?
I'm going to be gone. I'm going to hopping across the pond over to England.
Land of cricket.
Got some work to do over in England.
Sure you do.
I'm going to teach them about baseball before the Red Sox and Yankees play over there at the end of the month.
Is that right?
No.
I
No.
might actually be.
I mean, they are playing there at the end of the month. But that's not why I'm going.
Okay.
No. It's my day job, my non-podcast job. I'm actually going to be an ambassador to the fantasy baseball podcast over there. I'm going to be doing some.
It's a small community, but they are passionate.
I'm going to do some live appearances.
It's a burgeoning. It's one of the fastest growing fantasy sports.
So if anyone out there is over in London or
you gonna do a meetup
or Leeds, England next week,
do a meetup?
Come on by and see me.
At a pub. For some ale? All right, yeah, well, we'll see if I come down here solo. I was gonna last time you were gone and then didn't, because it's just not as fun.
It just shows the kind of commitment.
I have.
And you got a big trip coming up soon, too. You want me to come down and do the podcast alone?
Yeah, you do that. Angels. Cesar Puello starting in left field. They hitting 6th for him today. I know that.
Trout's got a hurt foot, so he's out today. Right. Get him out of your lineups, people.
Get him out of your lineups for Wednesday. All right, that's it. Go to sportnews.com/fantasy. Get all the good stuff you've come to expect from Sporting News Fantasy. And maybe we'll be back next week. Maybe we won't. But we will be back at some point.
We will be back.
We will be back at some point. So, I am Matt Latowski. Thanks for listening, and until next time.